we built an AI to run the world. And they've done it. And now they know what you're going to order before you order it. There's a poll out. People trust the NSA more than they trust Google. It's the same thing. People need to understand this. Steve Quayle.
The bottom line is how you just described Google, how you've just described their ultimate goal is should be the absolute controlling thought in people's response against it, Alex. Everything you just said, I wrote a 380-page book on it, but here's the thing. I'm trying to make it so easy for everyone that it encapsulates where we're going, what they want. They're telling us what they want. They've said what they're going to do. And so I'm just telling people this point blank. If you don't understand everything that is out there coming at you, this is the bottom line. You are no longer needed. That's why the middle class has been destroyed. That's why you don't have a hope for a future. And that's what we're trying to bring about. And people matter. And I say this, screw the machines, people matter.
That's it. We've got to understand the system wants to bring us down. We have to get people to get their life force back, get their capacity to understand that they've got to decide whether they want to live or not. And they've got to understand their destiny's been taken from them and that it's not a bunch of work to do this. It is empowering. Steve, what is it like? Is it not invigorating and opens up so many understandings when you face this? It's not enslaving. It's empowering. It is tiring, though, to actually face reality because your intelligence expands so much. And this is what they're scared of.
And that's why Jesus said, if you abide in him and his word abides in you, then we'll know the truth and the truth will set us free. Unfortunately, Alex, they want to keep everybody in a mental prison. Henceforth, kudos to Prison Planet. And by giving them lies, deception, feeding them dead food, giving them dead water, estrogen, tablets to the males, birth control pill, excreted pharmaceuticals, the point is they've been able to not only emasculate the American male, but they've also been able to basically lobotomize them with entertainment. If everybody looks at entertainment real quick...
Stay there. We're coming right back. Right back with SteveQuayle.com.
We're on the march. The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Aging starts at the cellular level. When cells become toxic, they die early and aging sets in. In the past decade, we have witnessed unparalleled scientific discoveries. During that period, key patented compounds have focused on mitochondrial growth, nerve growth, and rejuvenation. But no one has put together a formula that focuses directly on brain health, nerve growth factors, and optimizing your cellular energy at the same time. We now have the synergistic solution, DNA Force, just one of the key compounds. BioPQQ is backed by major clinical studies and over 175 PubMed-listed published studies. You want the best that's out there at the lowest price anywhere? The ultimate value, cutting-edge, trailblazing game changer that also supports the InfoWar. Secure your DNA Force today at InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139. DNA Force from InfoWars Life.
Using unparalleled research in the development of a synergistic formulation based around the key concepts of super oxygenation, the next level in cleansing is here. With key ingredients backed by real clinical studies, the new Oxy Powder, available through InfoWars Life, was invented during Dr. Group's research on the toxification of our bodies. Many herbal colon cleansers are harsh on the body and contain cheap and potentially dangerous ingredients, oftentimes full of synthetic fillers, GMOs, additives, or worse. Gently start cleaning your body with easy capsules that start working while you sleep. Oxy Powder does not require time off work, and there's no need for bad-tasting concoctions. Instead, Oxy Powder slowly releases monoatomic oxygen into the intestinal tract and body. Experience the astonishing cleansing power of superoxide and ozonide technology. Go to InfoWarsLife.com or InfoWarsStore.com to get started with Oxy Powder, or call 1-888-253-3139.
General, what do you think about the FBI saying that there was a terror alert on Monday about a potential Fort Hood situation.
The police are shoving people, shoving Alex, shoving the crowd.
Here we go, folks. I'm being assaulted.
Whether it's the radio show, the news websites, documentary films, or the nightly news, InfoWars is the tip of the spear.
Is this another false flag stage attack to take our civil liberties and put more homeland security while sticking their hands down on the pants on the streets?
It's up to us to set brush fires in the minds of men and women everywhere. And that's what PrisonPlanet.tv is designed to do.
You watch, the Assad regime is going to be blamed or accused of using chemical weapons against the so-called rebels.
What we see now is a war against reality. It's a war against the truth.
It's more vital than ever that supporters of freedom become members of PrisonPlanet.tv and share their membership with up to 11 friends and family. Visit InfoWarsNews.com today. Become a member, share your membership, and help take the InfoWar to the next level.
To us, then they all might stand up.
Those puny little ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life.
It's not about food. It's about keeping those ants in line.
The Alex Jones Show, because there is a war on for your mind.
Now, don't feel overwhelmed by all of this. The power of billions of humans awake and not infighting with each other and aware of what our destiny could be is a system a trillion times more powerful than whatever AI they dig up. You notice this AI is off of our thoughts, our emotions, to train the neurons of this beast while surveilling us, while absorbing us at the same time and controlling our destiny. So they roll out the, quote, smart technology, the smart meters, the smart refrigerators, the smartphones, all tracking us, all controlling us, all cheating us on our power bills, radiating us, hitting us on all fronts as they grow the wireless control mesh, as the technological grid like tentacles comes out. So we just start building new innovations around it. We start educating people about it. We start doing little steps, and then those turn into big steps to deal with it. Steve Quayle is our guest. We're going right back to him and straight to your calls. Briefly, if you go to drudgereport.com, you can see our article up there in the top left-hand corner. Feds scramble for hazmat suits, buying more than 1 million. And then we, basically from that article, got the intel from one of the big three. Won't say it's FedEx, won't say it's DHL, won't say it's UPS. But we have the documents. Exclusive U.S. government orders 250,000, 250,000 hazmat suits to be sent to Dallas. And the president says, oh, get ready for some more cases. Clearly covering up until after the election. That's what my gut told me. Looks like that's where we're going. And a lot of top people have said this is really an Ebola simulant. It's not really Ebola, so they can control it, and it's meant to roll out the vaccine. That's what Dr. Francis Boyle, who wrote the U.S. Biological Weapons Law and Terrorism Law and the UN Treaty, adopted at the UN, said. And he said it's hiding in plain view in the New York Times that they already have the vaccine for mutagens that just popped up in the last 6 months. That's impossible. No one could imagine what it would have merged with or done. That's how stupid they think we are. It's a smart meter and 2 + 2 = 5. And the Patriot Act's patriotic. No, it's not. Headline out of the Washington Post that they're laughing at us. Surprise! Controversial Patriot Act power now overwhelmingly used in drug investigations. No warrants, no due process, breaking your house, sneaking peeks, plant stuff on you. Wasn't for terrorism. And the DEA uses the NSA to set people up. And we're going to bring Joe Biggs in so he can get seated to talk to Steve Quayle here in a moment. But, Steve, I wanted you to finish your point you were trying to get to at the break of SteveQuayle.com.
Well, first of all, Alex, you know, they have had over, I don't know, a couple hundred dead scientists. This is relevant to what you're asking me. I think it was number 54 or 57 on my list. It was a gentleman that found a universal antidote for all viruses. A universal, it was an amazing feat. He was murdered rather than bring that to the forefront. Same thing. Look, this is what's going on. All anywhere. You've got to listen to us. We know what's best for you. I have a simple statement to ask everyone who's listening and will listen to this program or rebroadcast. If they've never told you the truth at all, what makes you think they ever will? That sounds like a pretty simplistic thing, doesn't it, Alex? If you have listened to them and nothing they say fits with what you see, wouldn't you be better off relying on your own common sense? So given what we're watching right now, Alex, this is a perfect setup for the implementation of their, not only Agenda 21, that's a given, but this is, how do I say this? There's no longer a future that we're going to say, well, another year, another 2 years, another 3 years. No, they're going for the home run right now. That's why all the ramping up and the amping up of the rhetoric and all of the new laws are in the books. Listen, if anybody thinks there's a constitutional republic left in functionality, they're wrong. There is one. It's the backbone of our country. But unfortunately, and this should all law enforcement out there listening, if you're a constitutional law enforcement officer, you also, your family's habits are already programmed in. And Alex, I've been pleading with law enforcement, loyal constitutional American law enforcement, for 23 years on, not being the victims of what they think they're going to be told. The contempt for those individuals is so great that, as a Border Patrolman told me, who's quit now, is the head of the Border Patrol itself, he said, Steve, they know our phone numbers, they know our bank account numbers, they know everything. We just saw that, we just saw that in the papers of the gangs in your part of the country. So the point saying they have it all. So please. That's
right. The criminals in the government are working with the organized crime, and cops aren't stupid on average. They know how corrupt the system is. Do they really think they're being trained? The number one enemy is returning veterans? Well, who else are they going to like? People that are trained to fight. It's the police, who are mainly veterans, because it's the end of man. It's the end of our age. It's the rise of the machines, in the words of the globalist. They preconditioned us with movies like Terminator. People think it's entertainment. It's the real plan. But humanity has to rally and has to fight. I want to go to phone calls, and Joe Biggs has some breaking news here with us. Reporter Joe Biggs. Dave in Florida, you're on the air with Steve Quayle. Go ahead.
My God says,
yeah, do me a favor. Talk right into your phone.
My Lord says, fear not, because these things must come to pass. And it happens in his word. God's word has spoken that we will not be destroyed by this evil. It will be destroyed by God.
All right, I appreciate your call. I want to get Steve's take on that. Here's the deal. You can interpret the Bible 55,000 different ways. I've read the Bible, and I know it's real. The point is that everybody thinks there's a rapture before all this happens. Did that ever happen to Christians before, or prophets, or Christ, or anybody? No. I mean, did George Washington just win everything because he was a Christian? He had to fight. And so what I'm getting at here is the churches are mainly government-run, so they're just saying everything's fine. We're going to get teleported out of here by Scotty on a golden rope or a stairway to heaven up there without having to go through this. When the UN admits this year Christians are being attacked, #1 persecuted group worldwide, and our government's helping do it. I appreciate your call, sir, but your phone was distorted. That's why I'd let you go quick. I want to get to all these calls. Steve Quayle, your take on what he just said.
Well, first of all, that's idealistic. It's not even realistic, and I would encourage the man to read his Bible. Jesus said if the days weren't shortened, there'd be no flesh left alive. Yet for the elect's sake, God's going to intervene. And Alex, I believe that as more people rise up, stand up, that we have a dam-like ability to hold.
God has intervened for me against every enemy, and it humbles me just constantly. I can't. If I told people all the stuff, it's beyond a movie. Just constant. And I just fear for those that try to do bad stuff to me, because every time, praise God, they get torn to pieces without me doing a thing.
Right, and let's look at all the Syrian Christians. I mean, and this administration, I don't know if you've heard me say this, but I will not call the White House the White House. It's a slaughterhouse. Not one word has been spoken out against the slaughter of hundreds of thousands of Christians, beheaded, disemboweled, chopped up, little babies with their heads ripped off by the foot of someone on it, and yet there's silence. So I say to all those people, you're the ones with fear. Don't say that we're putting fear on you. We're defining it. And Jesus himself said, that if he didn't shorten the days, that there'd be no flesh left alive. That's how evil it is.
Well, we need to do what Christ did and be Christ-like and go out and get in the face of these money changers, get in the face of the system and rebuke it. And I don't think that caller was so much mad at us, but I did hear it. It's like, God's coming. God will take care of it. This is scaring me. I'm not here telling you this to scare you. I believe you're men and you're women, and we can organize.